Hello, everybody. Welcome. So, you want a crypto? Today, let's talk about. That's not what we wanted to talk about right away. We want to look at the markets. So, market cap pushing $1.4 trillion, and Bitcoin alone, $868 billion. That is a lot of money. So, 46,000 on Bitcoin, Ethereum 1,700. We're seeing lots of green. Binance 43 in the last day. Tron up. Tezos, VeChain, Neo. So, the most valuable companies in the world, Tesla being one of them, just bought $1.5 billion. This is an older article, but so we have Apple, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Coca-Cola, Disney, Samsung, a lot of money. And these are 200 billion, 240 billion, 160 billion, 50 billion. All of this adds up to a lot of zeros. Tesla purchases $1.5 billion in Bitcoin. Here's what could happen next. So, every company should be looking at how to accept digital currencies, digital payments as part of their business scheme. It is not that difficult. It's what customers want, it's where the world is moving. And so, that I think he's getting ahead of the curve, and I think you're going to see every company look to figure out how they could incorporate cryptocurrencies from McDonald's to Bojangles, you name it. This is a CNBC article talking about how. So let's look at some companies and see how do they feel about crypto in a relatively recent time frame. Well, Apple can surge another 25% by adding cryptocurrency services to its wallet app, RBC says. We can see right here, here's Apple stock. Over the last year, it's done really well. And by incorporating cryptocurrency into their apps and using it, as a digital form of payment, has some serious potential for Apple. And it looks like they're, checking into it at least. Google, cloud partners with Ontology. So Google's partnered with Ontology in July. They've partnered with Theta Network in May. Chainlink in July of 2019. Blockchain.com, Block Apps, Digital Asset, Crypto Database. So Google's been around for a minute in blockchain and cryptocurrency, maybe. Microsoft, succeed with blockchain using Azure, proven 3-step approach. Microsoft is down with blockchain, and I imagine they wouldn't be too far behind if other people started to adopt Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. Facebook hopes to launch its own digital currency this year. So let's see. Head of Facebook Financial said he hoped that the company will be able to launch a digital currency and wallet in 2021. Marcus said he hoped that regulators will give Facebook's project the benefit of the doubt while considering the case. The project has been mired in controversy since its announcement in 2019, but Facebook is trying too. Facebook hopes the current cryptocurrency it backs will launch in 2020-21. This is in December. It's called Libra. Anyway, all these articles will be below. Coca-Cola. Distributor offers Bitcoin payment options for Aussie vending machines. And this was summer of last year. More than 2,000 vending machines in Australia and New Zealand will let customers buy a Coke with Bitcoin. Bitcoin, or let's see, on this scale, Coca-Cola was at $64 billion. that means there's over 2,000 smart vending machines now accepting cryptocurrency in Australia and New Zealand. The machines running the Bitcoin transactions are owned by Coca-Cola Amatil, a regional bottler and distributor of Coca-Cola products. While the Atlanta-based soft drink producer is a major shareholder in the distributor, the two are separate companies. So while this isn't Coca-Cola as a unified entity, this is, one of the subsidiaries Coke deals with and distributes to, has decided to accept Bitcoin. And honestly, if this is successful, this is a good, hey, Coke, look, we've done it. Maybe you should try this other places. All right, Bitcoin. As one of the first movers to use Bitcoin as a store value reserve asset, MicroStrategy has put their money on the line and paved the way for other high net worth entities to follow suit. They've also begun to teach other corporations in the same positions how to go about buying large and regulatory requirements. Recently holding a Bitcoin conference for corporations to discuss its use as a treasury reserve asset with over 1,400 firms attending. Some notable attendees include representatives from SpaceX, Visa, Pfizer, and Disney. Disney is another one of those very large 60-something billion dollar company. What year is this? November of last year. That could see. Can you imagine using Bitcoin to get into Disneyland, Disney World, buy Disney products at Disney stores, Disney Online, and so on and so on? Disney's big. So as you can see, in my opinion, mass adoption is just peeking around the corner. Tesla basically broke the seal. They've kind of pushed through the doorway first, and really, while it is impressive that Tesla has done it, it's a car company. They're going to accept BTC for the car sales, but it's not as encouraging as something maybe like, Apple's acceptance of Bitcoin in their app store, or something that would get mass adoption on a regular basis. People only buy one car every now and then. So that's one transaction here, one transaction there. And I understand Tesla sells a lot of cars, but Coca-Cola sells a lot more Coke. So you get more use, more people, more adoption, growth in the industry, and then you start going from like $1.5 trillion to $15 trillion in market cap overall, and then your total value locked in different projects start going up, tens of billions, hundreds of billions. It raises the value, a rising tide raises all ships. I know not everybody, but there's a big in solar base here, so let's talk about in solar. 11% in the last day. We're down about 50% over the last 2 weeks, and we're up 75 on the month. So if you got, in here somewhere, probably not the happiest, but anybody that was in early, you're still okay. And we're seeing some up and down, and, we have a higher low, which is good. This is the last 30 days. This looks 7. Right here. Maybe even work down in a double bottom. I think that it all depends on announcements, and we've said this before many times. Twitter, the same Bitmax and Bicky. So no real updates on Twitter. That's not where they put out the info. I definitely believe this is just somebody on Telegram, the InSolar Telegram. They think that XNS will be back onto Binance. And then there's some fun about his sources. They can't quite be confirmed. However, we can see right here, we got some people drawing some triangles showing possibilities of breakout, or it's really going to depend. And from when I've gone back and looked, Stan doesn't seem to know because, he's not making the announcements on here. He's telling you what he knows. So I think when they know, they'll let everybody else know. I'm looking through the latest just right now. Somebody's house. I'm not sure if that's quite a technical analysis, but people are optimistic. on Telegram. InSolar still has 1 billion coins max supply listed on crypto.com, 100 million in circulation right here, which I think this is supposed to be 500 million. And the market cap is the mark of the beast. Anyway, 666, 24-hour volume, 9838. InSolar on CoinGecko, same thing, 1 billion markets or total circulating supply and 140 million here. And they're in the 900,000 range, so standing by. I figured we're at the 3-week, we're in our 3rd week as a channel, and so I would look back at some highs and some lows of coins that we've picked. So over the last, we're just going to look at it, we're going to call it 2 weeks. Haven is something that we've liked for some time now, but we can see Haven has done quite well over the last, well, year or more. 1.5 24-hour trading volume and 100 million in market cap. Rank 202. Pickle Finance, another one of our real favorites. I don't know what it is about Pickle. $31 million in 24-hour trading volume, 30 million market cap. Let's see. Total value locked in, $41 million. And we can see the last 14 days, we're up almost 200%. 80 on the 7 days. We don't really care about the hour too much. It shifts too much. So Pickle, that's another one of the favorites. Polka Starter is one that we like. We've talked about most of these. I started with our very first video, and a lot of these were in the first video or first couple videos. Polka Starter is over. It's doubled in the last 2 weeks. Polka Starter's ranked 174, 133 million market cap, 49 million over the last 24 hours, 100 million supply maximum. Rarible, one of the early ones we talked about, 5 million 24-hour volume, 29 million market cap, 418 on CoinGecko, 993 for the price, and you can see 245% since we made our video, 128% in the last 7 days. DEGO, I think I've made a couple videos about DEGO. Almost 9 million in market cap, 3.6 in 24-hour trading volume, number 680, and there's a max supply of 9.893 million. We are 167% on the last 2 weeks, about the same on the month. So not too bad. OCTO was one of the early ones we talked about as well. 3.5 million trading volume, $26 million market cap, 443 on the ranking, and we're up 60% on the week or 2 weeks. YFIII, we talked about, I think this was the one in the first video. We're 33% up on 2 weeks. There's only 30,000 of these. That's it. There's 16,000 in supply circulating, and there's 30,000 total. That's really, 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 really low. 3.79 million market cap, 2 million in 24-hour trading volume. And DeFi hasn't even started really to heat up that much yet. Decentraland, another early one we talked about. A lot of people talk about Mana. 111 million in 24-hour volume, 312 in market cap, and there's a little over like 2 billion of them. This is ranked just over 100. And in the last 2 weeks, we're up 40%. And I think this one is going to be a slow grower until if you look, you can go to Decentraland's site and look at the property. There's a lot of available property for sale. There's stuff. It's still in early development. It's not completely built. This is still in a very, very growing phase. All right, so let's look at some of our lesser picks, but yet, who knows? We're down 75% in 2 weeks. That's ugly. But this is like a $200,000 volume coin. So, I mean, basically, when you're on these, I consider this money wasted. When I throw it out there, it's like throwing it in the wind, and hopefully something will come back. Like, I look for something that'll hopefully jump, but by the time I put, let's say I put a nickel on this, I pretty much expect that nickel to go away. However, I'm optimistic that it might grow. You know what I mean? I don't bet my life savings on rogue. Shroom, it's down 2%. Shroom's another one that we talked about a couple times. I like Shroom. I think it was in my first video. 2.4% down since about then. Up 4% in the last hour. But I still think this one has potential. We're only at a 6 million market cap and 500,000 volume. And if you go on, there's the staking on there is really low. It's only in like the tens of thousands. I think one of the highest is maybe 100 and something thousand. So early. YFIII was one that we talked about. It's down 20%. They can't all be winners. This is another one. It's like 19 million, 2.4 million trading volume. So there you go, some highs and lows. But I think that our highs outweigh the lows for the most part. We'll look at some more stuff. And then one final here, I put SpaceX at the end. Just because, you know, Elon Musk taking Bitcoin to the moon, maybe Mars. And SpaceX isn't listed. It's not a public company, right? It's a private company. So they very well could end up buying or have bought Bitcoin and hold it in their assets, and, you know, not have to report it. And many companies may start to do that as well. So I think that the enterprise or institutional adoption of Bitcoin is going to be rapid this year. This is a huge year for Bitcoin. And so this is going to change, I think, the way that people are going to look at comparing it to 2017-ish, that the last bull run where everything spiked, because you didn't really have people like Tesla buying Bitcoin, and people like Coca-Cola subsidiaries using Bitcoin in payment processes, and things have evolved a lot more to technology has evolved a lot more. People use their phones a lot more for things. You can get NFTs, wallet apps on your phone. So I think the adoption and the growth and, all of that could shift into like the mega parabolic cycle where we are exponential of what we saw in 2017. These are things to consider. And I think that the next few weeks after the Tesla announcement will be kind of key. Over the February and March, I believe you're going to see 3 or 4 more companies jump on board, let the SEC know that they have and are holding Bitcoin as an asset. Cheers. Again, comment, subscribe. This is not financial advice. Hit the notification bell if you want to see these when they happen. Cheers, everybody.